1. How music can kill your porn addiction. Science is only just beginning to reveal the neurological repercussions of porn consumption. But it is already clear that the mental health and sex lives of its widespread audience are suffering catastrophic effects. From depression to erectile dysfunction, porn appears to be hijacking our neural wiring with dire consequences. The availability of porn is at an unprecedented high due to the technological advancement, making it easy and ready at click of a button. It is time now that these topics on porn be spoken openly without any stigma attached. A clear understanding on the behavior should be needed, and when addressing such facts one must show empathy and provide unconditional love to the addicts, making them comfortable and providing space for them to transcend the addiction trap. There could be many factors covered beneath the layer of porn addiction. Living in the fantasy world could be exciting, but excitement is not sustainable and has to fade, making them want to get back the stimulation for excitement, which eventually traps them into the loop of artificial reward circuitry. Disengaging from these repetitive and compulsive thoughts is the only way, and for that tuning into higher thought vibrations with help of music, yoga, meditation, or any physical activity is necessary. Each time the urge to watch porn gets stuck in the mind, the person immediately steps into action to isolate himself to a secluded place and start watching, wherein he gets lost in time and space. This is when it becomes to interrupt or intervene this thought process loop. That's why music intervention process is best, as it proved that the brain cannot process these compulsive negative thoughts when listening to positive sound vibrations in the form of music. And that's why music could be the best possible option to overcome porn addiction. Beyond dysfunction. The desensitization of our reward circuitry sets the stage for sexual dysfunctions to develop, but the repercussions don't end there. Studies show that changes in the transmission of dopamine can facilitate depression and anxiety. In agreement with this observation, porn consumers report greater depressive symptoms, lower quality of life, and poorer mental health compared to those who don't watch porn. The other compelling finding in this study is that compulsive porn consumers find themselves wanting and needing more porn, even though they don't necessarily like it. This disconnect between wanting and liking is a hallmark feature of reward circuitry dysregulation. Following a similar line of inquiry, researchers at the Max Planck Institute in Berlin, Germany, found that higher porn use correlated with less brain activation in response to conventional pornographic imagery. This explains why users tend to graduate to more extreme and unconventional forms of porn. Porn analytics reveal that conventional sex is decreasingly interesting to users and is being replaced by themes like incest and violence. When this dysfunctional thought process is not intervened, the addict not only spoils his life, but now is a potential threat to the society by becoming an agitated person who could be harmful by committing sexual and violent crimes. It is best that steps are taken to rehabilitate these people with the help of making them listen to appropriate music and providing unconditional love, showing them a better path of life to improve their mental health and take control of their own self to create a quality life for them and the society too. Moral development. Porn use has been correlated with erosion of the prefrontal cortex, the region of the brain that houses executive functions like morality, willpower, and impulse control. To better understand the role of this structure in behavior, it's important to know that it remains underdeveloped during childhood. This is why children struggle to regulate their emotions and impulses. Damage to the prefrontal cortex in adulthood is termed hypofrontality, which predisposes an individual to behave compulsively and make poor decisions. It's somewhat paradoxical that adult entertainment may revert our brain wiring to a more juvenile state. The much greater irony is that while porn promises to satisfy and provide sexual gratification, it delivers the opposite. It is like the saying, the more you want, and the more will want. The consumer economy is built upon this principle of wants. People are left in the unproductive and egocentric loop of wants, leaving them unable to differentiate between wants and needs. We can see this in our societies where people are always in the state of want. Wanting more money, wanting more properties, wanting more things, wanting more variety, wanting more sex. All of us know music changes our perception and helps in the transmission of dopamine, which improves our mood and brings about healthy changes. Music can be a useful intervention with the obsessive need for porn. Making a conscious effort to put on the headphones and listening to music instead of looking at porn could change the habit. Music regulates emotions and impulses, which helps to divert from compulsive addiction. 1. The need for validation or gratification of love is replaced by listening to music. 2. Soothing music with isochronic tones relaxes the amygdala in the brain and enhances the perception to enjoy life more meaningful. 3. Music is so important even for the porn movies to augment the visual stimuli. So, why not one make best use of music to harmonize positive emotions to overcome addiction? 4. Listening to music can eliminate depression and poor mental health and improve quality of life, which eventually rehabilitates the porn addict. 5. Music diverts the brain from the urge to watch the artificial stimulating visuals of porn. Let us talk and better understand the process about why one gets addicted to visual stimuli. When we mention stimulation of the senses and watching porn, one can clearly observe the fact that the urge to watch is visual stimuli, then while watching it is augmented by the sounds and music suggestions which deceive the person through auditory perception. Once when the audio and video have taken over the mind of the person, he is now transported into the imagination world and starts to stimulate himself through touching himself. The other two senses of taste and smell is now perceived through his imagination, which is completely distorted and heightened, and eventually now at this point of no return the porn addict is now ready to instantly gratify himself in a complete one-way direction of the story through his mind. Observing this pattern, one can understand that these people are isolated and cut off from the real physical world, and are now very unable to respond and react to real people in a very healthy manner. Due to this habit, they are also lost the sense of morality and are predominantly making poor choices and decisions. It is also observed that the decision-making ability and compulsive behavior has caused damage to the prefrontal cortex. It is interesting to know when a team of researchers interviewed porn addicts and asked a question if they need porn. All of the subjects replied no, but it was only the want that is making them compulsive. This gave us a very useful insight and understanding that porn consumers find themselves wanting more porn, even though they don't necessarily need or like it. Higher porn use correlates to less brain activation, which means that the converse of it can also be true. More brain activation correlates to less porn. So, instead of making an effort to overcoming porn and talking about porn, which could be a potential trigger to get back into the loop, it is best to activate the brain through the use of listening to music, or playing some musical instrument, or dancing, which helps promote more dopamine secretion and feel-good hormones, which in the process improves the mental and physical well-being and improves the quality of life, which eventually and automatically overrides the urge to watch stimulative visual representation of explicit images. Make use of this wonderful magical powers of music and sound to not only overcome addictions, but also to tune the brain frequencies and bring harmony within the body, mind, and soul to experience fulfillment and balance in the journey of life. Living a peaceful life is more important than resting in peace. Happiness may need triggers, but when one is experiencing fulfillment and has a balance towards the situations and conditions that life creates, he is now in union with the supreme power to create his own choices of experiences. Listen to higher vibrational sounds and music to unleash the power within to achieve and create a positive lifestyle, which is productive and in harmony with nature. Relax. Enjoy listening to music.